Probably helps if I, you know, turbo my mic on. Yeah, let's pop this back over here. There we go. Hey, guys. All right, cool. Just going to continue on what we were doing yesterday, which is this. Oh my God, I got too many windows open. Did I not open? Oh, apparently didn't open Unity. I had 7 viewers yesterday. Apparently that's a record. All right, so weapon bench. One thing we got to do is we got to add a damage, accuracy, recoil, ergonomics, sound. Sound and range need to be added. So sound and range are after ergonomics. Yeah, I've said this like 15 times too, but I really got to get my elevator pitch for this game. So that way I have something I can, you know, when people are asking about the game or what I'm working on, I can give them the spiel. Or even at the minimum, just put it down below. I feel like I don't even have that. I need to do that. Yeah, I don't really got anything down below. I got to do a bit better on the about me. Range and range value. And what I need to do here is actually on the weapon stats itself, we need to add a vertical layout group. There we go. So then now that this stuff can be placed, it makes a bit more sense. Let's do a little bit more padding on that. Oops. There we go. Let's do that. Because now I can hide the ones that might not be active yet, or that I haven't done any, they're not doing anything with. How? I need to add these bad boys in. To add that in there, and then come back over here and copy a couple of these bad boys and add the 2 new values. Range, there we go, and then not text, and then range.text. And then the only thing I gotta do is up here. Sound.text. That's range.text. There we go. That should to be to now when we go to the weapon bunch, I should just need to add the new values there. Everything will be fine. Because the big one that I really don't know what I'm doing with is range. You know what I did? No, I don't know what I did. What did I do? Saved it. Why is that not opening? That opens. There we go. The other thing I don't like is how I can probably fix that by so condition, the width is 250 and the width is 200. So I'm working with 450 here. So if I move you, $220. You can also be, you would be 230 then. I'm gonna attach you guys to the back. Except that's gonna put it like way too close. Oh, but I want these to line up. I just don't have the space to put the ammo there like I would like. I think I can. I guess I don't care what ammo is loaded into it at the time. Let's get rid of loaded ammo. I'll break some things down here. That's fine. And then we can just get rid of the loaded ammo. Now, one thing I would like to do, make or work. Let's see what that looks like now. I want to make a helper method, probably in the enums. That will convert it to like a name. It says 0.16 rounds per minute. I need to convert that. That's not what I wanted. How does... That got louder. 450 rounds per minute. So I'm converting this weird. Because I think if I go to like the. I think I'm doing the math in here. Yeah, rate of fire is 16. So if that's rounds per second. Dorindicator, how's it going? It's been a minute. Oh God, how do I need to? I'm doing good. Doing good. We've made. Trying to think of the last time you were in here. So, oh God. Okay, so I'm trying to do this math. What's the AK-47 rate of fire? 600 rounds per minute. So if I divide that by 60, that gives me 10 rounds per second. How did I do this math on my... Because that's the length of time for the timer. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I need to remember, how do I do this math? So it's 6. I'm also assuming I did this math off of the actual. Divided by 60. $600 rounds a minute. If I divide it into 60 is 10 rounds per second. Why am I dividing by 60 again? Maybe there had to have been a reason why let's do the FP5 or the MP, so the MP5 rate of fire. That'd be 100th. Yeah, maybe. I'm good at math when I want to be. So like 800 divided by 60 divided by 60. Oops, I multiplied. 800 divided by 60 divided by 60 again gives me 0.22. I did 0.08 for the MP or the FP5. So clearly well, this person says, or this thing says 650 rounds per minute. 0.18. That still isn't mathing. How did I do this? No, I get the math. Like, I know how to do the math. I don't know what math I did before because my math's not mathing now. Because on the AK, I had it set to 0.16, which is 600 divided by 60 divided by 60 again, which is 0.16. I was like, okay, that's weird that I did it that way, but I guess. But then if I pull up the MP5, and I do 800 divided by 60 divided by 60, 0.2, so 0.08 times 60 times 60 again, 288? Hold on, 0.08 times 60 times 60. I don't know what I was doing when I did these things because it's not consistent. Like, let me pull up. Like, the FP7 is 0.06. And, like, I was just pulling these rate of fires off of Wikipedia. So 950 rounds a minute. I divide that by 60, gives me 15.83 rounds per second. Did I do the... I'm dumb. I take the rounds per minute, divide that by 60. That gives me the number of bullets it shoots in a second. Then I divide 1 by that number, and that's how I'm getting the time interval of... That's how I'm getting the time interval. I don't know why that was so hard for me to get. So if I go back to the AK here and I check on the Wikipedia for its rate of fire, which seems to be 600. If I do 600 divided by 60 is 10. 1 divided by 10 is 0.1. So the AK is off a little bit then. It's, yeah, I mean, once I figured this out, I was like, oh, that math does math. I just was being dumb. Now, why I have this set to 0.16, I don't know, because this should be 0.1 then. But that's whatever. Because then, oh, so that gets the problem of converting this back. I should probably have the... shoot. I should probably have the rate of fire stored in here for rounds per minute, because I can always convert, when I set the weapon up, I can convert the rounds per minute down to the, because basically this number is the number I put in the timer. And I could 100% do the math in the weapon component when I equip the weapon. Because the problem is I have no means of... Unless, is there... How do I convert this back? Like, how do I figure out how many times this goes into 1? Because it's the number is the numbers is what I'm missing. Because I need... Hold on, let me draw this out for a second. Because I need to write this down to conceptualize how to make this formula. And if I'm going to write it down, I might as well make it to where people can see what I'm writing down. And I don't know if it's going to be as easy as I want it to be. So I've got... Oh, this feels so weird without the little glove guy. I'm good at math. I'm actually like good at math, but I also like can screw myself sometimes. So I've got the... That needs to be thicker. Holy shit. I don't know how to use new paint. How do I make this bigger? Oh. Is it this? Oh, it's that. Okay. So the rounds per minute divided by 60 equals the rounds per second. And then the time equals 1 divided by the rounds per second. So actually, so what the equation here is going to be is time equals 1 divided by the rounds per minute divided by 60. So then if I know the time, in this instance, it's going to be 0.1 equals 1 divided by rounds per minute divided by 60. God, this is like basic algebra too. And I call myself an engineer. So this is actually going to be... We're just going to leave. We'll just leave. So it's going to be the time over the... RPM divided by 60 equals 1. Well, no. Because it's I have the fire rate of the gun is in rounds per minute. So if I have 400 rounds per minute, I divide that by 60 to get the number of rounds per second. Then I have to divide 1 by the number of rounds I have to divide 1 by rounds per second to get my time interval. So that way the timer will rotate enough time, you know, that the timer will loop that many times in 1 second to equal the rounds per second. So in the instance of if I'm shooting, if my math comes down to like, so if I'm shooting 60 rounds per minute, that means I'm shooting, I remove the zeros. Okay, I can remember if it was 10 or 1. So if I'm shooting 60 or 600 rounds per minute, that means I'm shooting 10 rounds per second. So I divide 1 second by 10 to get 0.1, and then that 0.1 is the timer for when I'm shooting. Also, I did this completely wrong. This should not be division. But 1... Oh, wait. Are you using... I read that as percentage. Is that modulus? Do you mean modulus? Because... Fuck. I can never conceptualize modulus in my head right now. Or in my head, ever. Because modulus is the remainder. So... Like, if for like an instance, Hey Fev, how's it going? We're doing math. Okay, so that is division. Hold on. I completely botched this. This is not the direction to go. Because actually, here, let's write this correctly. Because now we're running into the realm of where the people on the internet can't. Yeah, I see what you mean. This is where it screws people on the internet. So I got time is equal to 1 over RPM over 60. You don't like math? So to undo this, it's going to be time times RPM over 60 equals 1. So then I'm going to have RPM over 60 equals 1 over time, which means the rates per minute is going to be equal to 1 over time times 60. Wait, what? Why does that not work right in my head? So if I do 1 divided by 0.1 times that by 60. Holy shit, that works. Okay. It didn't click in my head. I forgot that time was a decimal point. So I was like, that's a really small number, but that's going to make it a big number because... Yeah, okay. So this right here is the equation I need to convert it back to rounds per minute. See, math isn't hard. Sometimes you just have to write it down. Write it down and it suddenly makes more sense. Because I think what was getting me was the fact that I was like, oh, in my head, I have 2 equations. And then I was like, oh, wait. I could literally swap all of this for rate per second in there. Yeah. And then, yeah, when you were using the percentage sign, it like completely threw me because I was like, modulus? I was like, where does modulus help me here? Okay, so that means not in the weapon component then, on here. The fire rate is going to equal 1 divided by weapon data dot rate of fire divided by 60. I gotta put all of this there. Oops, no, not there. There. 1 divided by, oh wait, that. Yeah, once I understood how you were typing it out, it made more sense. Because I was like, I can't read what you're saying. Now, can I 2-string this? Okay, yeah, so I can 2-string that. And this has to be a multiplication. I don't want to know how long it took us to do that. All right, so let's go back to here. The other thing is I could also just save that into the 1 divided by time divided. Yeah, I can move the digits however around, you know, however much I want to, but it's fine. We got an equation. Now the question is, how screwy is the equation going to get? So let's go ahead and drop some of this stuff in here. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some weird mathy issues that come up to it, and we can fix that if that happens. I don't like all that there. How did these get duplicated? Hold on. I think I got a duplication glitch. Or if I do that, put that there. Wait, okay, hold on. Do double Coke. Exit that. I got a Coke in my inventory again. Yeah, I've got some sort of not saving. Oh, shoot. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, I'll clean it up at some point. Probably, maybe, probably not. As long as it works, it works. All right, so let's just drop this stuff in here. Don't care. Let's grab a couple different guns. Let's grab you. Let's grab you. Let's grab a pistol. Let's grab this pistol. Area 9. Okay, so all 4 of these are different. Holy crap. LH15. Sure, let's grab that guy. You. 870. I have both of you guys. All right, so 600 rounds per minute. 240 rounds per minute. 600 rounds per minute. 150. Why the hell are you so high? What? 1,000? What do I have set in there? Okay, yeah, that's where the numbers get a little screwy. 461. All right, wait, actually, which gun was that was like super... Was it the N4? .06? Is that really what it is? Holy shit. Okay, that gun's not supposed to shoot that fast. Hold on. How fast does this dumb thing shoot? Which one was it? Was it the end? 0.1? 0.06? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it was you. You probably rip then. Am I really not? Interesting. Weird. That's weird. Okay. Wait, why? Ah, shoot. What did I break? I broke something apparently. There's a way I'll do this the hard way. Oh, frick. The N4 is 1112. True. Oh, not all caps true. True. And we'll put it in the primary, I guess. Save that off. And that'll just force it to equip. Fuck, that was loud. Now, what's this thing's fire rate supposed to be? Because it's definitely not that high. Oh, maybe. So Google says this thing is between 700 and 700 to 970 rounds per minute. So I might have just made it like really fast. Let's just meet in the middle. 835 divided by 60. 1 divided by is going to be 0.07. So actually like pretty bang on to what I had. All right, so let's find out why. Let's finish this and then figure out why I can't equip weapons anymore. So, okay, so if I need a reference to weapon stats, which is just a game object. That's fine. So then when I do current weapon interact, so if previous weapon does not equal null, we'll do Stats container, set it to true. Otherwise, stats container dot game object dot set active to false. And then I'm going to have this guy be off by default. Save that off. I gotta drag the thing in here. Sneeze. Thought I had the sneeze. God, that's so loud. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't. That's completely wrong. So if previous weapon does not equal, actually, so this should have nothing, have no care. If selected item does not equal null, yeah, I'm equipping selected item and then I'm getting. Oh, if selected item equals null, okay, then yeah, I want to basically do equals. No. How do I want to do this? Actually, I know how to do this. Stats container. Oh yeah, I can just do set active because it is already a game object. And I'm gonna do current weapon dot weapon dot has or oh, it was a long day at work today. I'm blanking over the dumbest things right now. So if selected item equals null, that means I'm unequipping, which means yes, I can do stats container set active dot false. Stats container set active true. That should work. There's a little gap on the stock of that gun. That's annoying. That's really annoying. All right. Cool. Yeah, and as you can see, there's some like fuckiness with number. Like, oh, that one works. That one works. See where the number gets lost in there. So let's do feature dot 3334. Add stats to weapon bench. Let's figure out what we broke on the equipping stuff, because that's not cool at all. I don't know how I broke that. All right, let's do inventory menu. Let's close everything else. Wait, that works? Is it just, it's just that gun? Why? Okay, so that means I broke something on, I clicked something on the N4 then. I made the muzzle required, that's why. Apparently I must have clicked that at some point. Now I'm surprised the little thing wasn't telling me. I'm confused because it says my muzzle swappable, but it's not showing up on that menu. It's like if I take the JK, put it on here, the muzzle appears. Muzzle's not appearing. Reset attachments. Let's go ahead and see what's going on in here when I do that. Oops. Continue there. That's why. No, hold on. Stock scope, grip, magazine, barrel. Is that all I need to do? Alright. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah, let's... Why? I'm gonna not play this maximize now so we can figure out what's going on here. If weapon barrel does not equal null. Okay, so I don't need this guy. That's taken account for. So I hit that. So if weapon barrel does not equal null. Okay, so I can... Oh, it's because that barrel specifically cannot... Gotcha. Based off of the barrel, not the... So the N4 barrel... Can't attach a muzzle. Does that mean item, weapon? Find all references. Do I use this thing anywhere? I don't think so. I probably could just straight up remove this guy. I don't think a muzzle would ever be required anyway. I don't see an instance where a scope would be. No worries, man. Yeah, I definitely don't need this. A black of a muzzle should not. Honestly, the scope would never do that either. Like, realistically, I could probably just entirely remove. Okay, the scope does have to be there, though, because of how the stuff works. I basically need to have the scope required a bit, I believe. Oops, that's... Weapon bench menu. That's actually kind of indirectly kind of how that works. Because there's no like, it's the scope hasn't entirely been like figured out yet, but like I do have like an accuracy that is the deviation of the of where it shoots. And I think the scope is going to like modify the accuracy. And then this like scopes and sights and stuff like that on the guns will be are actually what gonna give you like a crosshair on the screen. Like if you don't have any form of like if you don't have any form of scope on there, you're not going to see like a crosshair on the screen where you're shooting. You have to like judge where you're shooting based off, which it's not, I feel like it's not going to be like a crazy huge deal. So I haven't like entirely like worked it out, but I think I can just straight up remove these. Yeah, the scopes are one thing that just aren't like fully fleshed out in the game. There's not even any scopes that are in the game right now anyway. Yeah, I don't know what the weird bug was that I was dealing with earlier or a second ago, but that everything's working there now. Yeah, I realized what I said. But like most of the stuff is functioning anyway. Like if I do that. And I go in here now, like you'll see an entire extra scope guy appears. He just doesn't do anything yet. Yeah, you can see whenever I click this guy, it just straight up doesn't do anything. Oh yeah, it straight up doesn't do anything. Yeah, so the easiest thing is just there's going to be straight up there's no scopes that you can even put in there yet. In fact, I'm surprised muzzles work. $46. Attached attachment. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do have. So I have like subclasses of like, see, like here's an attached barrel, for example, and apparently the muzzle I've done, but like I straight up just don't have a. So if I go into that menu. The attached scope guy probably just has, yeah. Oh, I have an attached scope script. It just doesn't do anything yet. Okay, so since I panicked and did the whole... I'm going to go back to my... I'm just gonna removed unneeded code. I'm just gonna commit this straight to so there are issues. So I'm gonna there are blah, blah, blah. Cannot talk. There are still issues with weapon stats on the bench. Oh shoot. Close this, where some of the guns aren't working correctly. Let's full screen this. So like the instance of this guy. Nope, that one works correctly. That one works correctly. This doesn't work correctly. So the N4. What did I say this equation was? One divided by 0.07. Times that by 60 gives me like a weird. Because now, what did I? Because the M4 was 700 plus 970. I averaged it, so 835. I need a bigger, my history on my calculator is not big enough. Actually, I can do this. Okay, so 835 divided by 60. I mean, I'm hitting equal. Thank you, Jesus. Is that, and then 1 divided by. Oh, this is not gonna be. Scientific. That's too much. Is a graphing calculator on here? No way. It's a programmer Okay, never mind. Date calculation. Weird. That's cool. All right, let's go back to a normal calculator. Memory store, memory subtract, memory add. So I'm going to store that. And I'm going to say 1 divided by. Oh, no. Wait, why was it 60? Hold on. 835 divided by 60. No, clear everything. 835 divided by 60 is that. Let's store that. And then do 1 divided by 0.7. Oh, it's probably because I'm doing rounding. That's screwing it up. But I guess I'm rounding on a lot of these. Maybe it's just the ones that are off numbers. Because then the problem is if I do the point, if I do 1 divided by 0.07 and then times that by 60, I get like a weird number. That's also like way off. Because that should be 835 and it's saying 857. I think the easiest thing would just be to store. I could either just store both numbers, or I could do the math when I do the. Which honestly, I think that's better. Is if I just store the actual number of rate per minute, rounds per minute, and then when I equip the weapon, it just does the math for me. Which means I'd have to go through and find all the rates of fire again and everything. You know, screw it. Let's do that. I didn't know what I was really wanting to do today anyway. So let's change everything. So item weapon, let's do. Change this to rounds per minute. And we're going to start from the top. So an AK-47's rounds per minute is 600. Let's do the AK-74. 39 is 650 rounds. I like how also there's like cyclic and there's practical. And the cyclic is like 650 rounds per minute, and then the practical is like 100 rounds per minute. Hold on, let me do something. Oh, the practical the cyclic, it measures the maximum rate of fire without considering reloads, while the effective account. Oh, so it literally is just account for the reload time. That's fine. All right. So the AK-74, we'll just set this to 650. I'm gonna have to cast these as doubles when I do the math later. The N4, the M4. I gotta remember. I'm looking up the real versions of these guns. 700 to 970. So I'm just gonna average that out, which is gonna be 835 rounds per minute. The N16 is 700 to 800 rounds. Oh, there's two versions over here. There's the A1 and the A2. We'll say mine's the older one, just based off of the context of the game. So that's going to be 750. Barry N9. What the fuck was this thing? I gotta pull up my spread. I got a spreadsheet that tells me the real, like the actual real life equivalents of these guns. Oh, no, not, no. Back. There we go. I need to log into my account. Items. Let's open this bad boy up. Go to my weapons. The Beretta M9. Gotcha. Beretta M9 has a fire rate of does not say on Wikipedia. Rate of fire. So 600 rounds per minute. The SIG. 6 hour M11. I gotcha. SIG M11 A1, a commercial version of the Mac 11, is known for its high 1,200 rounds per minute. That's insane. Makarov is a Makarov. Six to 700 rounds per minute. Some sources indicate slightly higher, maximum of 750. We'll say we'll just average it to 650 then. It's the Mach. The Glock. Oh, duh, the Glock 17. Glock 17's rate of fire is up to 600 rounds per minute. Yeah, dude, that 1,200 round per minute one. Holy Christ. The SC75 is the 5.7. The AI doesn't help me here. It just says this one finally. A Reddit post says a 30-round magazine can be emptied in approximately 3 seconds, indicating a rate of fire exceeding 10 rounds per second. However, blah blah. Does Wikipedia tell me? Rate of fire, semi-automatic. Okay, so we'll do some math here then. So a 30-round magazine can be emptied in 3 seconds, which means 10 rounds a second times 60 seconds is 600. The Tokarev, which is the Tokarev. Up to 600. Should have expected that. I think the LH-15 is the AR that is. So the AR-15 rate of fire. $60 rounds per. Oh man, God, you gotta love the politics around the AR-15. Every other gun that I've Googled, the wiki for the gun came up first. As soon as I Google AR-15, and it's especially the AR-15 rate of fire, I'm getting literally at any, like all these other discussion boards and stuff like that. AR-15. For fully on AR-15s, or there's some specifically have a rate of fire about 600. Cool. A lot of these guns all have like seem to have 60. So anti-12. That's the Sega. That's a shotgun. And I would tell them to fuck off because there's absolutely nothing I'm doing here that's illegal. Sega 12 rate of fire. Also, like, I mean, I have a very obvious, like, I very obviously could, like, show them the legitimate reasons why I'm Googling these. Fully automatic, this thing can shoot 45 rounds per minute. Semi-automatic is about 20. I'm basing everything off of fully auto. Because then, like, because I mean, realistically, these guns are semi-automatic guns realistically shoot as fast as you can pull the trigger. Like, no one is actually no one's shooting semi-automatic guns as fast as they actually can shoot. So, like, most of these guns, like, that timer is going to run out well before you're probably even able to click again. And if you're clicking too fast with the gun, then you're clicking too fast with the gun. Same thing if you pull a trigger too fast for a gun, I guess, if you're capable of doing it. HS-870, which that's the... I think that's just a model 870, isn't it? I should probably Google these as rounds per minute. Maybe rate of fire is necessary. All right, 50 to 55 rounds per minute. That's not bad at all. Let's give it 50. The SG 500, which I believe is the M500. Yes. M-Fire can shoot. Why is this not 500 shotgun? Yep, no problem there, indicator. Have a good night. The rate of fire with M-Fire is... There we go. The Rainbow Six wiki. That's giving me a rate of fire I can use. 85 rounds per minute. Okay. That's and then the M500S. It's the M500S. I don't remember the difference between these guns. That's that gun. Is it just, why is it shorter? What is this gun? I see the 500 and the 590, which I have both of those, but what's the 500S? Why did I make an S? The weight's the same, the damage is the same, the rate of fire is the same, they're both semi-automatic. I don't know what was the logic behind these guns were. The 500 and the 590 are like basically the same thing. That's something I can figure out later, but let's say it can shoot slightly faster. All right, now we need the MP5. 700 to 900, so we're gonna call that a round it or average that out to an 800. The MP7 rate of fire 950. And then the P90 has like some dummy high rate of fire also. 850 to 1100. And then the AI says 900. Let's average these two. So 850 plus 1100. Divide that by 2. It gives me 975. I like that number. 975. Okay, so all of the guns now have new updated rate of fires in RPM. So I can now just change this to weapon data dot rate of fire that. So where we need to change now, though, is in the weapon component. Grab this rate of fire and figure out what we're using this bad boy. So rate of fire timer, gotcha. Rate of fire timer. Rate of fire timer run at rate of fire. Rate of fire equals the active weapon rate of fire. So this is actually where we got to do some math here. I'll put some... We come back over to our fancy all right, you guys are gonna love it. Let's go back to our fancy math. So I can visualize this and have plug in. Damn it, there we go. Man, I really want to get one of these with a screen, but they're kind of expensive. All right, so control all, we're gonna delete all that. So my time is equal to the round per second, or no. It's gonna be 1 over rounds per second. And then rounds per second equals the rounds per minute divided by 60, which means time can equal 1 over RPM over 60. I don't know why I need to pull all that out for that. That actually wasn't too bad. But actually, so what I can do though is so this is 1 over rounds per second, which actually I think when I divide by a fraction, isn't that the same as multiplying by the flipped fraction? Which then wouldn't this be just be 60 over round per minute? Hold on. So if my 60 divided by 600 is 0.1. Oh my God, that's what the indicator was saying earlier. I didn't have to do all this like BS. I understood his math later. I completely forgot about the fact that like I didn't understand. I mean, granted, I guess Chris can attest. It's hard to like read chat, comprehend what chat is saying while I'm trying to stream at the same time. It never registered what he was saying because I forgot. Like, yeah, when you divide by a fraction, you actually multiply by the reciprocal of the fraction. So yeah, the equation I actually want is literally just 60 divided by the rounds per minute, which means the rate of fire is actually just 60F divided by that. It's not that I didn't understand his math. I like totally understand the math now. It's just like, I think I was saying when you popped in stream at this time earlier, sometimes it's just math in the brain doesn't work. Like, you just got to write it down. And the second that I was writing it down, I was like, oh yeah, it's. Because I think I was literally talking about this my wife the other day, but like derivatives. Are raised to the, hold on, I'm trying to remember what I was doing. Because I was listening to a podcast, I can't remember this now, but they were complaining about how math is like taught terribly in school and stuff like that, and how like there's a period where like we don't teach kids calculus and how to derive and integrate and stuff like that. So then like there's this period where it's like you're just memorizing these functions for like area of a square, like, you know, the perimeter of a square, area of a square, volume of a cube, or circles. I think they were specifically talking about circles, and circles are like the hard ones and stuff, where if you can't remember these just are what seems to be arbitrary formulas, it sucks. But if you know calculus, you can just derive and integrate these formulas yourself to like, without needing to know anything. Because it's like, you know, because like the circumference of a circle is like 2 pi r, I believe. And I'm also like pulling from like my like just like remembrance of calculus and stuff like that. But then like the area of a circle is like pi r squared. And it's like, if you can't remember, like, it's like literally the formula for like this perimeter of a circle is literally just the derivative of the area of the circle. So it's like, if you know the perimeter and you need the area, you just integrate it. And if you need to go the other way around, you just take the derivative of it. And then I know, but I don't know what the volume is to go from like area to like the jump from like area to like the 3D or something like that. Or no, because you can't do that, because then you're comparing the surface area of like the circle compared to the volume of or I mean a sphere. And I don't know, math is weird. I thoroughly enjoy math, and I'm definitely a lot better at math than what I've been showing today. So realistically, my gun should shoot about the same speed it was before. I don't have any ammo. Any subsonics? I do. Okay, so now as a test, I should be able to go into the JK, and instead of it being 600 rounds per minute, let's just make it 60 rounds per minute. And now it should just shoot like once per second-ish. Oh, that stupid bug. What do you shoot? 762 by 39. 762 BP. Actually, I guess I can take the BP and I'll just switch to the... There we go. There we go. Okay, so I think that bug, oops. Lootable or loot menu. I just gotta save the player when I leave a lootable. So now what I should be able to do is come in here, drop this Coke in here. Save and quit. And I should be able to take this Coke, drop it in here, exit. Oh, no, because I can't save in the that's why I pulled that out. Okay. I think the stash has a... Oh, that's why the bug is like that, because it's supposed to... Ow. I guess I could do a check to see if we're in the hideout and if... Yeah, okay. How do I did this before. How do I check what scene I'm in? It's on the... Is there a pause menu? Pause menu. Scene name is... Oh, get... Okay, scene manager, get active scene name. Okay. If scene manager dot get active scene... Is it that? Oh. Get active scene dot name. Gotcha. Name equals level 0 hideout. So for the hideout scene, we'll just go ahead and save. Otherwise, it doesn't save. Easy peasy. That means now be able to grab that guy. It'll save. Kill it. Start it back up again. Got a drink in there. Come over here, take this drink, drop it in here. Kill it. And I should have 2 drinks in the stash this time. Oh my god, it's already almost 4. Oh, and actually, I didn't even check the other fix I did. All of this stuff should, like, this should all just work now. 600 RPM, 835, 100, 600, 50. I wonder how slow 50 is. Oh, I'm out. Darn it. Okay. All right. So that, what do I want to do now? Changed. Let me push these changes. And calculate time when quit. Spin all this, push that, do another pull request. Oh, Zurith, good news. My Game Boy project, I finally got the LCD screen. I don't need to say it. I finally got the LCD to connect to the Pi. But what's annoying right now is the fact that it's showing me like a metric screen. Like there's a screen with like metrics and stuff on it. And I have not been able to get it to actually mirror the, like the desktop onto that screen. And I've also had this realization that I probably should just be doing this stuff from the get-go with RetroPie installed instead of trying to get all this stuff to work on this regular desktop version of the OS and then trying to remember all this shit and do it again when I have RetroPie installed. But I have gotten the screen to at least display something and not just be a white screen, and now I got to figure out how to get it to like send the HDMI over. And send over like the actual screen instead of. Yeah, I love RetroPie. I've used it before. It's just been a minute, but like I figure it probably makes the most sense to like have RetroPie installed and then get the screen working, you know, instead of getting it working and then having to remember how to do it again and potentially have some like hiccups with RetroPie also. By the way, it's coming along. It's the two once because once I mean honestly, once I get the screen's probably the biggest hurdle, because getting the buttons to send the correct signals to RetroPie, that's a whole hell of a lot easier to do, and the resources for it are probably way more straightforward and not having to rely on all these 50,000 different dependencies that may or may not work and blah blah and stuff like that. Like that one should be a whole lot more straightforward to either get working myself or find resources to figure out how to get it to work. And then, so yeah, once I have the screen done, I just have to wire up the buttons and get that all working and everything. And then beyond that, the hard part then is getting some perf boards or donut boards. Apparently they're also called. I don't know why. I don't know why they're called donut boards. But I got completely distracted. But I basically gotta grab like a perf board, do like a permanent like wiring of all the buttons and everything and stuff like that, and 3D print a housing for it. Or well, no, okay. So there's two more big things I got to worry about is power, which shouldn't be that bad. I should just, instead of running the USB to the power thing, I should be able, like, that should just be a matter of taking the two wires from a or because I'll need like the battery, and then that's gonna get, you know, hooked up to a power, like a charging controller or something like that. And then I imagine why, like, that should just be a matter of like, there's probably some wires off of that I would just not wires. I think the pins, I don't have my Raspberry Pi with me right now, but I should be able to just solder those pins to like some power like points on the Pi itself instead of, you know, to go around the USB thing. And then the other ones I gotta figure out audio. Audio is the only one that's gonna be a little weird to do because I don't really know a lot of the components there. Because I know that's gonna be like wiring a speaker, a potentiometer, getting the potentiometer, like a good potentiometer to be able to scroll on the side of the thing, and then having like a shitty little speaker there. But I really think the hardest part about the whole project, once I'm done with the LCD, is probably just gonna be physically building the thing and like drawing up the housing for it and getting everything to fit in there nicely. And the big thing I want to do is audio, but that's going to be, yeah, I'll definitely be I'll post updates on it in Discord too. Either I'll probably put this in both Chris's Discord, and I'll post updates. I got to get better at just posting updates in it because I really want to, you know, to get in both Discords since they're both still like, you know, the video, you know, the consume, create, whatever. I still can't remember the name of that podcast now, whatever he changed it to. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get better at posting like weekly updates in both Discords of like just what I'm doing in the game, because not everyone watches stream. But I'm definitely gonna put updates on the Game Boy and like in Discord as well, because like I'm super stoked about this project. It's been a lot. As frustrating it's been and how much hair I've ripped out getting the LCD to work, it's still like fun because it's different than what I like normally do. Oh, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, this game I really want to do without audio. I can't do audio on stream. That's something I just got to do on my own. I guess at this point I can do some art. That's the big thing that I need is art right now. And I don't need to do, and I got to remember, I don't need to do everything. I just got to do what's going to be in the first level. What are some biggies that I could potentially do? The Trello board. I know you're taking off here in a few minutes anyway, because of work. Weapon repairs. That's the one that I totally forgot to even do in the first place. honestly, what I want to do is I want to have so I think I can do a couple ways to do it because I want to have like diminishing returns maybe on weapon repairs. I don't know if I want to have like weapon repair kits or because I'm trying to think let me pull up my notes here because the idea I had was like I was gonna say, so the idea I had was like repair kits to where it would be like they wouldn't work. They basically, I would need a minimum durability for the repair to even work in the first place. And then like a maximum durability that that could repair up to. But I don't, because I know like, I think Zero Sievert does, or they've got different like repair kits for different like calibers of guns and everything and stuff like that. And I think I might go that route, kind of what Zero Sievert did, because I don't think, does Tarkov have weapon durabilities? So they do have weapon durabilities. 15 minutes before I have to go fill in 2 people's jobs that magically got sick the same day the 4-story elevator was scheduled to be offline. So like it's, to me it makes sense that like, I guess this isn't a weapon repair bench. This is a weapon modding bench. I feel like the player would think that they could repair weapons here, but like I want the items. I don't want to just have like, I want it to require items. I don't want it to just be like, oh, go to the bench, hit a button, just repair. Unless I could do basic repairs actually that require like weapon, like I could use weapon scrap to do limited amounts of repairs. But I'm not sure. But like basically I know how Zero Sievert, I know how it does it is there's a small armor repair kit that only works above a certain percentage amount and heals a smaller amount, and then there's a bigger one that works under that percentage amount and heals a larger amount, but can like repair up to like a larger amount, but only to like a maximum amount. I thought I'd have to play around with it because I can't remember how. And honestly, I'm gonna have to put the repair stuff in the weapon component thing. Well, God, this weapon component script is nasty. But shall see. But I think we might go ahead and call it here. It's been too, man, I need to start streaming longer. I just don't know I don't know what to do. And it's hard to stream when like no one's active in chat. So like basically the determination if I end early or not lately has strictly been if other people are active in chat besides you when you have to go. Because it's so much easier to do. Like you help have an active chat, and I think when I don't have an active chat I get boring and then it doesn't help. I know Fev's in here. He's at least active, or I mean he's here, but he's never really like super active in chat. And now he's gonna pop in not because he heard me say his name. Yeah, that's the problem. It's like I can even still, like I feel like I can stream without chatters and be fine. But for whatever reason, it's just like, yeah, like, and it's not even that I won't podcast alone. Like if it comes to it, I probably will do it alone because I want to do the podcast. I just feel like it's more fun to do with a co-host. That's the biggest thing. Realistically, if I'm still streaming after you leave, I end up being more productive anyway because I'm not talking as much anymore. Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, weapon repairs are going to have to be their own kind of item. Which actually I'm going to do that anyway. I'll do that now. That seems like something that could be fun to do. So for an item, these guys will be a repair kit. So I actually need a new type of inventory item. And yeah, what did I change in here? Oh. Yeah, I can get rid of these guys. That just hid the screen. That's why. Okay. Yeah, let's do some weapon repair kits. So I got inventory items. Or I need to make an item. So let's close other tabs. Is consumable. Yes, it would be a consumable still. I gotta make this item over here. These are sprites. Scripts. Items. Let's do data first. And these are all scriptable objects. Yeah. So we're going to make a new script and we're going to call this item repair kit. And we'll open that bad boy up. And this is just going to return from item. But then we want a... How do I do when I need a regular item or it's like you are a drop down. So item weapon. Let me So I need to open up. Or no, I don't, because I can just do. No, I should put this in enums. Public enum. Repair kit. And it's gonna be armor or weapon. So public. Repair kit. Repair type. And then I need a list of compatible Oh, but that's I wish some of my stuff was more modular. Like there's no tools that in here that I've written that I would be able to just pop out as a package and put into another game because it's all like super specific. But it's all stuff that I can very easily like reference again and kind of rewrite-ish. I'd have to rewrite it, but most of it would be copy paste and remove the specifics. Compatible. So compatible ammo. Add this guy in there. I guess these both could have in public. I can't put a dictionary in. Shoot. Because I would prefer these be dictionaries, but hi, Hendrix. Hold on, let's see. Okay, so I'd have to put them in a... So I'd have to put them in a list and then on Awake, serialize them. That's not going to work. No, I could do that. No, I can't do that. How do I do this in a way that... Pain, it seems like hack, but when I need the dictionary like object that unique and serialize, I do this, and they make a... I don't like that either. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Because this guy's like, oh, I do this, and then make it in a list, and he's like, you don't get the... List, key value, pair, string, string. Because I just want to put... Because I want to basically do a lookup. I don't want to have to loop. Nice. Because I'm pretty sure you have to, like... I don't know why I preface this with Unity, because... Searching through huge arrays without using loop. Because they're they're scriptable objects, so like I don't want to have to... I don't want to have to put them in, because otherwise every time I go through the thing, I would have to loop through. I guess it's fine, because I'm only going to loop through. It's probably fine. I'm just overthinking it. The list isn't going to be that long. So that should be all I need to do, because then I can do unscriptable objects, consumables. I could just do are a consumable. I'm still gonna put them in their own. Repair kits. So I can do create. Create item. Oh, I didn't do the. Let's do that. Oh, and I gotta update my scheming for. Shoot. So 1x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for loot. 4 is for attachments. 4.1, blah, 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 blah. Gonna make a new row below. I'll do repair kits. They're not that big. So I can do 7. Not 1.x, I guess. So then for the repair kit here, I'm going to do 7.1.1. Light armor. Repair kits. Is a consumable. I probably could have put it into the repair type. Armor. Sprite. None. Is consumable. Do I add another? Menu. Like, so if I do the right click. Use consumable. Submenu show. Submenu. I should make this its own. Call this repair type. Item item repair kit. This can be called, go back to repair type. Come over here. So it's repair type armor. Is consumables. What do I even use is consumable for? Find all references. Yeah, I find plenty of references for is stackable. I literally do not use is consumable. Maybe I'll use it for sorting later. Like, yeah, I literally, apparently literally do not use this. This is consumable, like, checkbox. Class 1, 2, 3. Four. Item. Repair kit. Light. Repair. Item repair kit. Armor. Light. So it says it's a repair kit for armor of light armor, which is classes 0 through whatever. Kit, and then small. And then I'll have a light large, and then a heavy small, heavy large, and then I'll do I'll figure out how I'm going to do the weapon repairs. Oh, this is, yeah, it's going to require a bit more tinkering than I thought I was going to initially have to do. But on that note, it's 4:30, so I am actually going to go ahead and take off. I know you got to get going soon anyway, so anybody lurkers in chat, let me go ahead and hit you with the socials guy. Go and hit those up. I'd highly appreciate. I'd really appreciate. See, I need to go. Yep. So, any lurkers in chat, if you're new here and you haven't yet checked out the socials, very much would appreciate if you guys join the Discord. I will be back again on Friday. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday, so I won't be on tomorrow, but I'll be back again on Friday. So you guys have a good night, and I will see you then. Bye.